tears today. Lord knows I did. And as saddened as I am, the pain that we feel is a testament to the glory and the anointing of God that was on DMX's life. DMX was literally a walking testimony of God's grace. He survived so much, and no matter what he went through, he always bounced back. This is not the first time he's experienced and went through something like this. From overdoses to accidents to prison to traumatic experiences that most people would not have survived, DMX always bounced back. And it's because of his supreme ability to adapt and survive under any circumstance that gave the world and all of us the belief that when he went into that hospital, that he would bounce back like he always does. But the truth is, every dog has its day. And sometimes the people who are strong for us needs us to be strong for them. We don't know the conversation that DMX had with God as he lay there in that hospital bed. And if you know DMX, then you know he had a conversation with God.
And whenever I go, before I go, let me give thanks to you, Lord, for my birth, for every day that I've lived. You gave me a love most of my life I didn't know was there. In the name of Jesus, I give you my life because you care.
And as I sat there with tears in my eyes, I am reminded of not so much of what we lost in his absence, but what we gained by his presence on earth. X was living proof that you can come from the bottom, the gutter, the dirt, rise above it, and still shine like a diamond. He showed us his flaws. He showed us his victories. He showed us his losses. And most importantly, he was not afraid to show his love for Jesus Christ. And in spite of his mistakes, he was one of God's most fearless soldiers. And absolutely no one can deny that the anointing of his prayers absolutely shook the rooms.
The word says, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. The word doesn't say that the weapon won't be formed. The word doesn't say that the intention of the weapon maker won't be to harm you. The word doesn't say that they won't attempt to use it. The word says, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. So no matter what they think, no matter what they make, no matter what they try, by the power of the word, we are covered. We humble ourselves before you. We praise your name and give you the glory. We praise your name and give you the glory. We praise your name and give you the glory. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Amen.
And before DMX left, God used him to pray for us one last time in front of millions of people live at that versus battle with Snoop. Breaking yokes, breaking strongholds, and ushering in a Holy Spirit of peace and reverence that people could feel all around the world at the same time, and encouraged and lifted the spirit of the world in the middle of a global pandemic.
Father, please walk us through the bad times as well as the good. May we be heard and understood from the suburbs to the hood. May you judge us by our hearts and not by our mistakes, and see that we get our breakthrough, however long it takes. May you fill that void in our souls that will lay our fears to rest. But there's no way we can live for Jesus when we're living in the flesh. So I pray that you allow our spirits to be born, grow strong, move on, know right from wrong. 1 John chapter 2, verse 15. Do not love the world or anything in the world. And we know what that means, but listen. We know the distance we need to be away from fire to keep it missing, but that doesn't mean we'll listen. Lord, you take care of fools and babies. Teach women to honor their men and men respect their ladies. But lately, so many of us have gone astray, doing wrong for so long that we've forgotten the way. Please bring us back home, instill in us the word which is our backbone. We're just children that act grown. There is so much that we're entitled to, yet we receive so little. Because in this time of spiritual warfare, we're comfortable in the middle. So I pray that you open our eyes. Give us the anointing to recognize the devil and his lies. If we keep our actions wise, our prayers sincere, our head to the sky, you will diminish our fears. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Amen.
Amen. Thank you to Earl Simmons, a.k.a. DMX, for being the light that everyone needed in a dark world. Long live DMX, and we send love and blessings to his family. Peace.
I could Drop dead right now.
Oh, you're not.
That's what I'm saying. If I was to drop dead right now, my last thought would be, I've had a good life.
God damn.
February the 13th, that was when he said that. And I mean, he literally a month later deceased. Right. Rest in peace to you, DMX. Welcome back to another episode of the Holistic Cannabis Show with your host, Dr. Yolanda Henderson. Yay. And
Henderson.
Henderson. All right, Mr. Henderson. We have a wonderful show today. We are back from our little vacation, so thank you for being patient with us. We missed all of our viewers. We missed you guys so much, but we have a lot to talk about. We got to catch up. So happy Easter, happy belated Easter to everyone who celebrated with their families. I mean, we went to Disney and we had a great time with the children. In the meantime, it's a lot of stuff that's going on here. We had 3 states that legalized cannabis, y'all. So we're just thrilled, and we're kind of jealous out here in Georgia about that. New York, shouts out to you guys. Virginia, shouts out to you. New Mexico, all right. So I'm definitely amazed at what's going on here, and they're finally understanding, or they're getting educated, I would say, on what's going on. We have a special guest as well today. We have Miss Sahara Johanna in the place today, and she's a wonderful model. So we have a model call coming up, you guys. This is a precursor to the event, the Natural to Life event that we have annually. We've not been able to have it the past couple of years because of COVID and things like that. So that is going to take place for Father's Day. So if you have a significant other you want to honor, you want to for your dad or for anyone like that who's been in your life, to your mom who's been mom and dad, we're going to rock the runway, okay? And so we're going to have her talk about what she's going to be doing for us, for the Gift of Life community home in the community, helping young ladies and everything. So she's going to talk just a few minutes. But we also want to recognize Mr. Dante Wright. This is another shooting, another police shooting that we cannot just get enough of. We just had the show in the case or whatever is going on right now with George Floyd. And then here comes this, okay? So we don't approve of this. We want it to stop. We don't understand what's going on. I mean, the police is not getting the picture. So we want to talk a little bit about that. But then we just want to just say a prayer for the family of Dante Wright. I saw a little baby. I saw some of the pictures, and I mean, I was just like, oh my goodness, another young man. I mean, he was like 18 years old or so, 20 years old, 20 years old. Okay, so you see how short-lived his life was and how he could have been a blessing to his community. So we're going to go ahead and show this quick clip, and then we're going to get our wonderful model on the platform so she can give you some information about her. She has been all over the world. She has modeled, fashion design, all kinds of great things I can say about her. Miss Sahara, she is a wonderful woman. I mean, she reminds me of my mom. She has over 230 pairs of shoes, she just told me. And so she just has a lot going on. So we also have something going on here in Georgia. The Georgia voters' right is really being trampled. I mean, it's just Georgians everywhere are going ballistic over what's going on with Georgia and the voting law. We even had Will Smith just pulled out of his acting here in Georgia because of this. A lot of companies are pulling out their business. The Major League Baseball is pulling out their business here in Georgia. So we have a little clip that we're going to show about the voter suppression law. Watch this video about what happened. I don't approve of this. This is bad.
Are you serious? No, you are not. Represent. She's not under arrest.
A Georgia lawmaker was arrested after knocking on the door of the governor's office and interrupting him as he signed elections legislation, which critics say suppresses voting rights.
According to them, if you support voter ID for absentee ballots, you're a racist. According to them, if you believe in protecting the security and sanctity of the ballot box,
Zahara,
you're a, quote, end quote.
State Representatives Erica Thomas and Park Cannon were among roughly 10 protesters outside Governor Brian Kemp's office as he was signing the controversial bill and delivering remarks.
You just arrested a state representative. I'm done. And then you're gonna tell me I'll be next? I'll be next for doing what? For standing for the voters of Georgia?
The Republican-sponsored law includes new restrictions on voting by mail, like requiring photo IDs for absentee ballots and limiting when and where ballot drop boxes may be accessed. It also increases government control over elections, including allowing the legislature to appoint the chair of the state election board and replace county elections officials deemed underperforming.
They lost the election and now they're back. And they're taking it out on innocent Georgians.
Democrats and voting rights advocates say the law will disproportionately disenfranchise voters of color.
Right, so you heard it here. All right, get your mic on the floor. All right, and so that's what's going on. We don't like what's going on. We can't stop what's going on, but we got to get these laws changed. So basically, one of the major laws that they're talking about that was not great was how you can't even give a person water or food who's standing in line, right? Standing in line, getting ready to vote. And it's been a long day, it's hot, and they want to get, some water. And so if you bring them some water, you can go to jail or you can get a ticket. Really? So that's one of the reasons why, it's really absurd. What you think, Mr. Henderson?
I don't think that there should be an issue whether if I'm a voter and I'm standing in line, do I really expect somebody to bring me some water?
Right.
I can understand the perception of it too, that if a person is bringing you water to a voter in a voter's line, that, hey man, are you mentioning a candidate's name or trying to persuade them to vote for a certain candidate?
Right. I don't think so.
It could very well be possible that a person could give you a bottle of water that says vote for my candidate's name right here. And that right there is already trying to persuade a person to vote one way or the other. If the person has a pen on that may be a Republican or a Democratic pen and they come bring you water, what's
but I could wear an outfit that has.
But you're not a poll worker. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You're not representing any type of.
Anybody bringing the water. It could be like our organization bringing water and food.
But the commission don't know that. But the commission don't know that. But I'm sure that there will be places where you can leave the waters as opposed to a person physically bringing you the water.
Well, some of these lines are long.
The issue.
Especially in Atlanta, because Fulton County was.
They don't care about
everything.
that.
It changed it.
They don't care about that. If you want your drink of water, you go over here to the cooling station. You see what I'm saying? Not necessarily that a person would have to bring you the water.
What is a cooling station?
Cooling station will have like cold drinks at it, fans in case you get too hot. It'll have a automatic oscillating fan there.
How is that going to actually help the people in line that the line is stretched all the way around to the back of the building times two?
Well,
how is that? How I equate? I just don't understand. If you bought 100 bottles of water, anybody can come and get a bottle of water. Well, what about these people back here? What are we doing?
If that's all we got, then that's all we got.
Exactly.
We can't give 100 bottles of water to 1,000 people.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Hey, here's the cooling station. So yeah, I guess some adjustments to that little deal have to be made to it, but that's just a hypothetical situation. And then two, you have people who could say, okay, well, if you're gonna complain about somebody bring me some water, I take my own water jug. I fill it up with my bye-bye belly or my gut buster juice, and I just go stand in the line, and I'm fine. I'm chugging down my own drink. I don't need nobody to bring me a drink anyway. Now that's a real independent voter anyway, because that voter don't need nothing but get in there.
But back to the water in itself. I'm sorry to cut you off. You know, when you get to the door, you see the 8x10. No water allowed. Or no drink allowed. No food allowed.
So, you gotta drink
I guess you got to drink it all, and then when you got to go to the restroom. What about that? What we gonna do? What?
The same thing that they already do. They give you water and you come in there and say you need to use the bathroom. If they tell you that you can't have no drink in there and you go in there without the drink, and after you get in there you got to use the bathroom.
That's just ridiculous.
You still gonna stop to use the bathroom? What you gonna do?
Well, that's a catch. Then do I need to go back to the back of the line because I stepped out to go to the restroom?
Right.
I mean, this is how my mind thinks. You know, what are the aspects that exactly? You know, what about those that come up in wheelchairs and you know get there at 7 a.m. and they're in a wheelchair and the person behind them are so off kiltered that they won't even let your elder or disabled people come on and go. That doesn't make sense to me.
Do they do that already?
Well, they do, but people fuss about it.
Well, people gonna fuss about any and everything. You could give them, you do free, what is it, early voting?
Yeah.
You can early vote. You can put a heavy emphasis on on early voting, as opposed to waiting until election day. The mail-in ballots, they want you to have ID with that, you know. But then you say, okay, well, who can't get ID?
Right. Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So now the local municipalities or the local governments will have to make sure that everybody who lives on that voter's roll has ID. Well, spend that money then, government. If you say that we got to have that, spend that money.
There you go.
See what I'm saying?
Spend the money.
So, I mean, do I feel like that there's suppressing a vote? Maybe for somebody who can't get to the voting booth, okay, but you can offer rides for that. They did that before.
They did that here as well.
They offered rides, okay? So then you say, all right, well, I ain't got no way to go get no ID. Well, how else do you get around if this was not election day? You surely get around some type of way. Ride share, Uber, Lyft.
Well, they did buses.
You know.
Well, I mean, because Uber and the other one, Lyft or whatever, they too high. You know, we need to catch the bus or find a way to make sure our communities come together and take people to the poll. That's what they did back in the day. That's how we lived back in the day. That's how we got Dr. King's message out. I mean, and so on and so forth. But this is a situation of gerrymandering to me. Okay? And you are suppressing the vote in any way, form, fact, or fiction. You are trying to change what we fought so hard for. And we're in Georgia. We are in Georgia. You know, it's time for a change, people. It's time for change. And we're going to have to stand up and be the voices, be it young people, middle-aged people, old people, great grandmothers and fathers that didn't believe they'd see a black president.
Right.
You know, and so even with Barack Obama, our president in flow, even with that in flow, he went and got the oldest black woman living, 104 years old, and took her to the polls. And that was her first time voting. So what do we say about, what's that say about us as a community? When we bind together as a community, we can get things done.
And that right there, Ms. Zahara, is the way to fix that. Not depend on your government to be what's fair. You see what I'm saying? So I think
you see what's going on with cannabis here in Georgia.
I think sometimes if you wait for your government to do certain things and action certain things, you will never really be a whole independent sovereign civilization, no matter how much you call yourself.
Well, let me put this out there as well. Okay, I'm not a big political individual. I have been in the past, but I had to stop myself and rein my own self in, because if I'm talking about helping the community and ride share and all these other things, then I need to get out there in front and say, look.
Here's my car.
Okay, we can get, look, Miss Avalon got that big trunk back there. you know, she can
the
take
church
C5,
van.
okay, the daycare van, the church vans, whatever we need to get it mobile. Okay, and so
advances in technologies as well. You
Yes,
know?
absolutely.
You say, okay, well, a lot of our elderly don't know how to use the
internet,
laptops and internets. You know, maybe you could, I don't know, give them some type of training on just the voting part of the internet. When they get to the ballot, it ain't like they doing too much at the ballot box anyway, if they're ever been. So I'm sticking a card in the slot and picking what's on the screen. And then you have the people who do the absentee voting, the people who vote by mail. Well, that situation, though, I could kind of understand why they would say even with those you need ID, because it can work on the other side of the party as well.
Yes,
you can have a lot of Republican supporters sending in ballots, multiple ballots, just to get that person in when they could be using dead people on the roll. They could be doing just the same thing that they accuse the other side of doing. So now, you know, I think sometimes
that makes a point.
We could say because something happened to us as a race historically, you see, that we only see that part of it without seeing what we could do to fix the situation. Like Barack Obama said, because that was my dad too. I was a big fan of when he made the speech about having personal responsibility for self. That right there made me vote for that guy 2 times. You see what I'm saying? Because I really believe in personal responsibility.
Absolutely.
If you going wallow around and past hurts or miseries, you gonna have your pity party by yourself because at the end of the day, we need to still be trying to progress things. Not forget what we've been through, but don't forget to keep reaching for where you need to be too. You need to be reaching to there too. A lot of the distraction system that's in place to slow progress down, they'll put the past in front of you as a stumbling block. They'll revive these issues between us just to talk about something else. And so now our mind is really off of what the big picture is because we're looking at the small stuff. You can't bring me no water, I'm gonna be mad. You tell me I gotta have an ID, you gotta have an ID to cash a check, you gotta have an ID to get a credit card, you gotta have an ID to pretty much do everything except get in church in Walmart. And if y'all ain't wearing the mask, you're gonna need a passport to go to Walmart.
Go ahead now.
You know what I'm saying?
Go on to the top of the mountain. Go on to the top of the mountain, brother. Preach. Yes.
I'm just saying.
You just saying. Just saying right.
My thing is, don't ask me to count the bubbles. How many bubbles in some soap? Remember them days? How many times can you breathe? Okay.
That's the main concern.
I love seeing our young people
out there
fighting for justice. Go get it. Because it is your turn as a generation. Okay?
I'm telling you.
I got goose pimples. I got goose pimples. Because Holy Spirit done jumped in here now. Your generation, folks, time to make a change. You need to continue the fight.
That's it.
By any means necessary.
All of y'all. It's for y'all's generation.
Y'all generation.
They need to make sure that they see what the fight looks like.
What it looks
Sometimes just being told what the fight is supposed to be. They can't always vision what the end result's going to be, because not everybody is going to learn from listening. Some people are going to be hard-headed. Information go over their head, they be distracted, got the phones, got the iPad, got everything. They just as distracted as the kids and disoriented as the kids. They got all these social medias and they try to keep up with all that right there. Distracted.
That's it.
From the big picture. All right.
Moving on.
Moving on. That was awesome. That was
for the day. Come on back, y'all. Come on. Come on, get on.
I can tell y'all how to watch the show.
There you go.
Go to your internet browser, www.statusnetwork.net. Download the Status Network app live.
Status Network.
All right. You can call in if you got anything to say, any opinion about what you heard, what you thought, what you might be thinking. You can call us at 470-251-4647. Instagram, manifesttv.status. Facebook, Status Network LLC. Periscope, Status_network_. Twitter, Status_network_. Amazon Fire Roku, Status Network, and Manifest TV, YouTube, Manifest TV. I guess there is a time when I can talk too fast.
Yeah.
That's all right.
That's it. All right, so Miss Zahara. Yay! I'm glad you're on the show.
Zahara Gihana.
Oh.
That's who she is.
That's who
hello,
she is.
hello.
Y'all heard it here.
Thank you for having me.
I'm glad
Thank
you're
you.
here.
Look, you should have seen me busting it, trying to beat the face and get out the house. The puppies wanted to come. I'm like, nah.
I told you, I'm like 5 minutes. I'm putting no makeup in the car on the way here.
Oh no, I ain't got that. I got to get home and get it right. Get it right.
That's it.
Especially for my sister over here.
There you go.
I love this woman and her husband.
Thank you.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. They
So,
just wrap their arms around me.
Yes. Well, we know that you're so awesome. You got to tell everybody what you're doing and what you've done in the past. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about you.
Let me tell you a little bit about me.
Yeah, there you go. And she has some pictures, so we're gonna show
Yeah,
you pictures
they're
as
up
well.
and around. They're gonna mad. My photographers will be like, "You ain't mention me."
So you better
when
mention
they
them.
come up, I may have to mention them, give them their credit. But my mother started me off in charm school, and at 5 years old. Why?
Oh,
because I was so gangly and clumsy.
Oh.
And so, I did the little Easter fashion show and things like that. And then she wanted a tomboy.
Oh.
She wanted a tomboy.
She wanted a
And then by the time I turned 13 years old, it was like, no more.
No more.
And I still played softball, baseball, basketball, anything that had anything to do with the ball. I still went on bike trips and things like that. Yes, that's one of my favorite ones. That was my actual show, my show, Heaven and Hell and the Gene Apocalypse.
Oh, wow.
And we still have not presented. Eric Fort has done this picture. But yeah, we haven't done the actual show, but it is up and coming. Okay. Like I said on my Facebook page, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to get Zahara 3.0.
Okay.
2023. Look for me. What else? I do backstage managing. That's my actual comp card. I look so mean down there. Oh. But I do backstage managing and producing. I also have my own line called Raggedy Ann Creative Craft Design. And I upcycle anything that can go in a landfill, be it plastic, make a purse out of that, be it a tin, make a purse out of that, tea can, make a purse out of that, cut up stuff, shirts or whatever they have, that people donate to me, and I just use it in my garb. So that way, all my grandbabies, I have 10 grandbabies. All my grandbabies, that's, who was that? DeCarlo, that was in the car. Yes, so my grandbabies have green space to romp around and be around and what have you. So I started to do this because I didn't see anything on the runway like what I'm doing.
What you're doing.
So I took advantage of that situation, and as Zahara Gihana, we just make it happen. I'm not Zahara when I'm at home. My name is Anjanae J. James. It's also Facebook, Anjanae J. James, very easy. And then Zahara Gihana, both on Facebook. And the fact of the matter is, when I'm at home with the hubs, I'm AJ. I transition.
There you go.
And like my saying says on my page, I am every woman. Who do you need me to be today?
Okay.
Okay. See, what Zahara do is things like this.
There you go. Uh-oh.
Yes, baby. Yes. We work it out.
There you go. I'm not
okay. Okay. So, this is the real.
It's beautiful.
This is the real. And
it's
actually,
beautiful.
I keep it bald, so it's a little long right now, y'all.
Okay.
But anyway, it may go blonde.
I know.
But
I've seen it
meeting
long.
you
Yeah.
and your hubs,
Yeah.
has been to my advantage. We just tested yesterday, and this beautiful doctor told me exactly what I needed in my life. And you all need to check her out. She knows some things, okay? And she has a test that's very inexpensive, that all you do is hold something and it gives you whole body reading.
Yes,
and you can go from there, and she will tell you what you need to do, what kind of vitamins to take. You take apple cider vinegar, which I don't like, and put in 16 ounces of water, and you don't even taste it. I already tried it.
Okay.
So that's what I'm talking about. It's health and well-being. And then you have the actual spirituality side.
Yeah.
We're all spiritual in a sense,
Yes,
but
we
you
are.
have that deep core that you bring forward for everybody, and I appreciate you too very much. And as well as, you know, you have to, the family support and the business support. And I've been in the business over 50 years. I'm 56 years old.
Wow.
56.
You don't even look it. Look at you.
Thank you.
You know I told you that already.
Look, you know we don't crack.
We don't.
You know we don't crack. And if you saw my mama, you wouldn't think she was 74.
What?
You would not think she was 74. She just came out of her 6-inch stilettos 2 years ago. No, 3 years ago now. Because she broke a hip, but she not on the 6 inches. That worked.
And my mama is the same way. That's why I say you was like my mama, just in here in Georgia. I'm like, y'all are the same people. Like she has every wig to match every shoe.
There you go.
And I'm sure your mom is like that the same.
No, she's not. She's not opposite. She's just slowed it down.
Slowed it down.
And
now.
come out to 6 and gone to the 3, but she still walk.
Okay.
And she still got that flavor.
Well, Nina's etiquette teacher. You
yes.
are. So everybody that's seen Nina on the show, that's our daughter, that's our 10-year-old, and she is actually her etiquette teacher. She is teaching her all the girly stuff.
Yes.
And it's all about femininity, all about enjoying who God made you.
Right.
And
exactly.
I mean, we love that. Even if you're whatever you want to be. And that's how you express to me, especially with the boys and everything, and with doing the debutante.
Right. Exactly.
And the bow. She actually said, well, we can do a bow, a debutante and a bow, not just for the girls, but for the young men.
Absolutely.
And they can, learn.
They're going to learn how to sit down with kings and queens and have a dinner. That's one of the major things. They will learn to enunciate their words and their language and how it is when you're speaking to someone of power, and then communicating on a level that people think you way up here. We're gonna have them $50 words in there, so they'll be learning a lot of vocabulary. They will learn how to walk, boys and young women. They will learn how to speak. They will learn how to pull out a chair and a young lady down, or our young ladies pull out the chair and be gentle women. You know, and that's okay.
We appreciate everybody.
Yeah, and we're accepting everybody that's willing to take the chance. And the classes are only going to be $25, you guys.
Okay.
We're not talking about $500. No, we're going $25 per class, and then we will set up. Are you ready? We're doing a fashion show. Yes, we're going to do a fashion show. A talent show. Yes. Whatever talent you bring to the stage is what we're going to accept. So the more the merrier. Even the 2-year-old baby may be able to say 1, 2, 3, ABC. And then we'll take it.
And we'll take it.
And then after the fashion show, talent show, we have
the hair show.
The hair show. Okay, we can be any woman we want to be. And what's fabulous, this young woman and this handsome man is getting ready to do hair for cancer victims or young people with alopecia, older people with alopecia, and she's going through the class right now and snapping it up. Snapping it up. There we go.
Yeah, so I'm happy about that. Thank you.
So it's so much that this couple does that you get and you feel the love. See, I walk in the room when I'm modeling and say, model love, baby, let's get it going.
The energy,
you know, it's a good vibe that you can put out there. We don't have to be snippy. It's enough work for everybody in every industry. You know, and here I'm praying that these young people sit down and take the wisdom of their elders, be it in the industry, another industry, just being a griot elders, telling your life stories to these young people, middle-aged people, older people, whomever you can sit down and talk with. We need that because we thrive on that. And young people, I can't say to you anymore, and seriously, you need to know who you are and where you came from. Okay, why do you exist in this world? What do you have to bring to the world?
That's what you teach my babies.
Okay, you tell the story. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. You answer all them questions on the real tip. Write it down. Because as you're doing your journal, you can flip back and say, okay, this is something, and it's right here for me. You know, so there you go.
Yep.
I am Zahara Gihana, baby. We can make it happen. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, so we are doing it. We are having classes. You just heard what she said. They are $25. She will be having etiquette classes at the Gift of Life Community Home or by Zoom. So if you're interested in any of those classes, please give us a call. And the number is 1-888-959-2093, or come out to 820 Highway 138 in Riverdale, Georgia. And you won't want to miss this. This is for boys and girls, or men and women. There's all ages. This is a debutante ball for all ages. So if you have a significant other and she wants to rock the runway, and she want to present something to you for Father's Day,
exactly,
she can present a poem. Whatever talent that she has. She can present that on that day. And we're actually looking for a location now, so if anybody has an event center or know anywhere where we can host this wonderful event, please let us know. If you want to be a sponsor for this wonderful event, please let us know. We're looking for sponsors, we're looking for partners, we're looking for models. Model call. Oh, the model call is this coming up Saturday. That's right. The 17th, and we also have one on the Saturday following, which is I believe the 21st.
Right.
So those 2 days.
That's very important for you to be at. And let me tell you this, not only with the model call, if you plan to model, let me give you a quick hint. If you plan to
we're
model,
only going to be able to pick a certain amount, so come out with your A game.
So if it's 50 people, we'll split it. Okay, so we won't be so exhausted that we're not making the best picks. Okay, you never know how many we're going to get, but the fact of the matter, this is the tip, male and female. If you want to model, look like a model. If you walk in looking like a model, you feel like a model. That is for men as well. Gentlemen, please do not come to a model call in tennis shoes, brogues, or anything like that. You need a flat surface shoe. Okay, Stacey Adams, that's my old one. Okay, whoever else y'all know, but a real tie-up shoe or a slip-in or whatever, but it has to have a hard bottom.
Your Sunday's best. How about that? How about they can be Sunday's best?
Back to the Sunday's best.
We ain't been to church in a while. So.
But I really think, and it really, really is important on your first scene judgment, because we're looking at you in line. We're looking at you when you're standing up talking to somebody.
And we're going to take pictures.
Yeah, so we will be taking pictures. So bring your A game and be ready. If you do not like being scrutinized, don't come.
Right.
Okay, because that's very hard on you. And we're not trying to make this hard. We're trying to make you better and make you feel better about self.
There you go. Well, thank you so much, Ms. Zahara. This is our time. We got Mr. Henderson up next, who's going to give us a little presentation on credit repair.
Okay,
so we'll want you to stick around so we can take some pictures afterwards. And we thank you so much for joining us. You're so sweet. And we cannot wait for this event to happen and for the model call on Saturday.
I can't wait.
Yes. All right. After this video, we'll be right back. There you go. So you saw everything here. Now, Mr. Henderson has been waiting. I know you have a lot to talk about, so go ahead and tell us what you have for us today.
Well, I got a little bit of information for y'all. I sent a couple of documents in earlier about credit. And so we all know how important credit is, right? We talk about it on the show quite a bit. All right, so what I'm proposing is that if you're looking for a financial coach, someone who could teach you how to budget, show you how to budget your money, show you what spending looks like, show you what savings look like, show you how to balance the checkbook, how to manage credit cards, student loans, as well as protect your right as a consumer. nthcredit@gmail.com is an email. www.nthcredit.net is the website. You're going to log on to that website. When you log on to the website, scroll all the way to the bottom, and then fill out the consultation request. When you fill out the consultation request, somebody is going to call you and going to tell you what to do. Now, today, if you joined on this live, then you're in for a treat, because today, I'm going to break down the credit score algorithm for you today so you can see what exactly encompasses a score. I'm going to show you what a sample credit report looks like and how to read that sample credit report and understand the parts and makeups of it. I only got a few minutes, so I'm going to try to hurry on along as quick as I can. And so when it comes time to writing that letter, how or what should the content of my letter entail? Okay? So, what we are going to do is show you these basic disputing topics that we're going to try to cover. If I had more time, I would cover them all, but we'll just keep it short and sweet. Lesson number 1 is the credit basics. We'll also talk about what is credit, why credit is important. We'll look at some statistics if we have time. The big 3 bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, are the main 3 credit reporting agencies who are responsible for what is on your Tri-Merge credit report. They are fed that information from outside providers called data furnishers. And what those data furnishers do is they supply information. One of the world's largest information furnishers is called LexisNexis. And LexisNexis will hold all of your information about who you are if you ever had a telephone in your name, cable TV in your name, credit cards in your names, car loans, housing loans, they house all your information. So when you walk into a place and you apply for credit, or like some of like what happened to some of us, your mom and daddy went and applied for credit in your name. All right? So now you have what's called a credit profile. And on that credit profile, it's going to list things about you, your personal information, the current address, any future address, any past address, right? Any current address or past address, not your future address. But whatever address you move to after that, they're going to have that too. All right? LexisNexis. So when they supply that data, they do not verify or keep on file the documents needed to send that information to the big 3 bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. A lot of the times those files are transmitted incorrectly and they have the wrong thing on there, so that information ends up on your credit report. You walk into a car lot or a mortgage office or apply for a credit card online or any type of loan, they ask you for your social security number for your birthday, they're going to pull that report. In that report, 79% of all credit reports contain errors. 79%. So you say, what is the real duty of the credit bureau then if they don't ensure that my information is accurate? Because these 3 bureaus have millions of subscribers each, and they span worldwide, they're not able to verify all that information. That's a lot of information. So what they do is they'll report it in hopes that you don't know one key thing about their credit profile, how to access that file. Once you access that file, you are allowed one credit report from all 3 bureaus annually, every 12 months. You get that credit report and you scour that credit report. Well, then I just see my scores and I see a bunch of writing. I don't know what I'm looking at.
Right.
Okay. First thing that you want to keep in mind is that the top part of every credit report that you get from the three bureaus are going to have the same information at the top. They're going to, and this is the anatomy of a credit report. They're going to have the same things in that credit profile. One of the things that they're going to have in that credit profile is the personal information. That's actually in the header. And so because it's your personal information, it'll contain your name, your birthday, important information about you, employer information about you. So people say, okay, well, I know I lived at all these addresses. Well, here's the thing. When you get ready to dispute stuff on your credit report, you want to remove any information that's not current and accurate. One of the reasons why is because you could go and sign up for a job, try to get some employment, right? They're going to do a background check for you, and if they pull your credit report, they're going to pull your credit report. The reason why you want your personal information to always be correct, the misspelling of your name. If your name is spelled incorrectly on your credit report, you now have someone else's information that's tagging along with you everywhere you go. If your name is John Smith, if your name is Thomas Davis Sr. and Jr. All right. Now, whenever you have a merged file that's like that, it's real easy to separate it. You just notify the bureaus, hey, this debt is not mine. You will write a typical letter. It's not mine. It's personal information. It's not correct. They're going to remove it. The reason that you want that removed when it relates to credit repair and trying to repair your credit is it makes it a little faster on the process when they don't have your old information that ties you to that debt that they're looking at.
Right.
That's one of the identifying information that the credit bureau have to have in order to put something on your credit bureau. Current and accurate information.
Right.
Only. Okay. In the next part of your credit report, my slides are not moving. Okay. So with that, but see, I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So I'm gonna keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what I'm talking about.
Well, you preaching
I'm
there.
not your,
Preach credit there.
I am not your mother's credit repair company. All right, I know what I'm talking about.
Okay, fine.
All right.
Yeah.
So the next part of the credit report is going to contain all the account information about that specific trade line. In that specific trade line, it's going to have the date that the trade line was open, the last payment date, the last activity date, your payment history of how you paid that debt. Payment history accounts for 35% of your credit score. If you were always late, you don't get part of that 35%. So now your scores is down. There's a way you can fix the late payments through goodwill concession letters to the CEO of that company that reported the debt. How about that?
Do we have a sample letter?
I do have a sample letter. It is called a goodwill letter. And it basically is a letter that you would send over to the credit bureaus to initiate the investigation of your credit file. It's a very simple letter, and it pretty much basically says, hi, I pulled my credit report and I found some stuff that's on my credit report that I believe is inaccurate. There's a copy of the letter there for you to see. It's a simple worded letter, not a whole lot, but it does quote the USC Section 166A. That pretty much says that you are entitled to your investigation within 30 days of the receipt of the letter. Please send an updated copy of my credit report to the above addresses. According to the Act, there shall be no charge for this updated report, and I request you send all notices to everyone who have obtained my credit report in the past 6 months. All right?
Remove it.
That is going to be pretty much how you would word the letter.
Okay.
All right?
That's good.
Credit repair companies, financial coaches like myself, we're going to always start out with round one, a request for investigation. When we request that information, the credit bureau is either going to respond one way or the other with full deletion because they cannot provide that information. They have to delete that. And the second way, they're going to come back and say that it's verified. Now, a lot of people stop right there because they see that word verified on the documentation that come in from the credit bureau, and they say, "Oh well, I guess I'm just lost." They're so easily defeated. So, oh man, well, I guess I'm just at a loss. They came back and said that it was verified. Oh well, so I guess it's verified.
No, you don't stop there. You don't stop there. Well, you can't stop there.
Section 601 and 609.
That's why he's a special.
Of the FCRA says that a data furnisher must provide certain documentation at the consumer's request.
Right.
They can't come up with their request in 30 45 days. And after that point, it's called a method of verification. All right? Don't get it confused with a verification and a validation. They're two different things. But a lot of people that say, "Oh man, I can fix my credit myself," they don't understand the two things that's different between those words. The word verify you want to use with a credit reporting agency. The word validate you want to use with a debt collection agency. Because with a debt collection agency, they receive the information from the previous owner of the debt. Those would be the people that you would want to go after. But why not take the two-piece approach and take the credit bureau and the creditor at the same time? So people who say, "Oh yeah, I can do it myself." Well, imagine for your credit bureau letters, you have to write 3 different letters.
Right.
For your creditor, you only have to write 1 letter. But now you have to follow up on that because that's just 1 trade line.
There you go.
What if you have 12 items? Now, do you really got the time, the work process, and the workflow to keep up with all that yourself, mister? I'm going to do my own credit myself. www.nthcredit.net. We're going to take care of that.
There you go.
We're going to be transparent. We have an interactive portal where you can upload documents, where you can actually send secure messages to us. We'll be able to respond back to you with information. We also specialize in restoration, where we go in and actually rebuild the file, because not every credit file that comes to us needs to have repair. Some people's scores are just low because they have no
real
other
credit.
kind
They
of
don't have
real credit on there. Or they might have had a $300 credit card, but it got closed. Paid it in good history, but it was closed due to inactivity.
Right.
That's why we always say, if you're going to pay the credit card, only pay it down to 0, but still use it. When you pay it down to 0, fine. Still use it.
After the reporting
I would
date.
say at least I would say at least do 1%.
Yeah.
You know. At least keep your usage at 1% if you can. 0 is only good when their statement is going to close. Because if you leave it on 0 too long, the whole trade line is going to disappear.
You don't want that to happen.
You don't want that to happen, because then you'll lose all the history, you'll lose the age, you'll affect the composition of your score.
Awesome. All right.
You just learned something.
All right, y'all just learned something. And you're going to be having classes as well.
We are.
What days are your classes, Mr. Henderson?
We're having a financial literacy class. It's a free class on Zoom, as well as over at the Gift of Life, at the Resource Center.
Wellness Center.
Wellness Center. We'll be having classes there as well, but only by appointment in person and Zoom. Email us, nthcredit@gmail.com. Let us know you're interested. We'll send you the link.
There you go.
You take that link.
Yep. Free credit repair classes. Y'all heard it. And this
It
is
is
the
free,
real
but we
stuff
solicit.
with the letters.
Now, keep in mind, it is free. All right, FREEE. All right, we're gonna show you some of the letters. We're gonna show you my favorite 3 letters to use to the bureaus, my favorite 3 letters to use to the creditors or the collection companies.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to show you all of that right there. On our next episode, we might even dip into bankruptcies and how to get bankruptcies, liens, and charge-offs removed. We might hit that one up. So just kind of tune in to the Holistic Cannabis Show on Status Network, and every so often, I'm going to drop one of them hot ones on you, and then you're going to be good.
Yeah.
All right?
All right. Well, thanks for that information, Mr. Henderson. We're going to scroll through our photos real quick before we get out of here, and just let you know what's going on. So happy Easter again from all of us, the Holistic Cannabis Ministries, the Holistic Society, Atlanta, Georgia Academy of Cannabis Science, class start next week, and the Gift of Life Community Home with the NTH Credit. We all say happy belated Easter. All right, got a new clothing line idea. Join our sewing class. So we're actually starting our sewing class tomorrow afternoon from 1 to 3. So if you wanted to learn how to sew, come on out. You can bring you a yard of material. We have sewing machines, or if you have your own, come on and bring that out as well. And we're going to learn how to basic sew. All right. Natural to Life volunteer model casting calls 2021. Always wanted to be a model? Now is your chance. Come on out. April the 17th and the 24th from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. 820 Highway 138 in Riverdale, Georgia. Again, at the at the Gift of Life Community Home. And then if you want to be a debutante, ages 5 to 100, debutantes and beaux, boys and girls, come on out. Bye Bye Belly, the gut buster juice for men. It sheds the belly fat, nourishes the heart, and improves sexual function, stamina, endurance, right?
Yeah.
All right. All right. So we also have the Bye Bye Belly Get Snatch Juice. I have some here on the stage, on the table. And if you want to pre-order, you can lose up to 1 to 3 inches per week. And it targets your belly fat and contains no laxative, so you won't be running to the restroom, and you can be able to take it as long as you drink some water with it. You're good to go, as well as the Get Snatch tea. And I have that over at the center as well. So come on out and get yours today, or pre-order by phone or in person.
Y'all better hurry up. It's almost summertime.
Yes. Rest in peace, DMX. We're going to miss you. Miss your music. All those hits. What you really want from a... I love this song. 12/18/1970 all the way to April the 9th, 2021. All right, rest in peace.
Man, that was a special guy.
Yeah.
DMX.
All right. Yes, he was.
A special guy, man.
Mr. Dante Wright. All right. This is the last shooting that we've heard about of another African-American male. And he was young. You see him in this picture. This is just absurd. So we're sending prayers out to him, his family, and may he rest in peace. There I am with my wonderful partner in crime. She is the she's not instructor. She is Dr. Christy Gore, and she brings a new type of treatment to us all by allowing the or helping you get established with your medical marijuana card. She's a dear friend of mine, and if you're interested or have any of the qualifying 16 conditions: chronic pain, ALS, epilepsy, Crohn's disease, multiple sclerosis, mitochondrial disease, Parkinson's disease, sickle cell disease, Tourette's, autism spectrum, epidermolysis bullosa, Alzheimer's, AIDS, peripheral neuropathy, hospice patients, cancer, or PTSD, you are entitled to a medical cannabis card. Please contact me so we can get the referral to her as soon as possible. All right, again, we had a wonderful time in Disney last weekend. All right, so shouts out to Shades of Green Resort. They were amazing. And you know, hey, the kids had fun. We were able to get them out of the house. They've been in the house all summer, a whole year actually.
School year.
So they deserved it. All right, and if you want to go to Disney, you let me know. I got the hookup, and I'm also a travel agent, so I can get you that deal. Miss Sahara, we welcome you and thank you for coming on the show. You are an amazing woman, and I especially love her. She is my daughter's etiquette teacher, and she will be hosting and having the classes for etiquette coming up this Friday, actually. If you want to join the etiquette by Zoom, please contact us for the opportunity. All right. Well, we want to thank everybody for watching the show. Y'all know we're normally here every Sunday from 5 to 6, but we missed Sunday due to our vacation, and we just wanted to just get back on here and just show you all love and send out positive vibes for the week. And we'll see you all back next Sunday, same time, 5 to 6, and place. Peace.
Right there. Let's go eat.
Yes.